Hi YouTube, I'm glad that you found your way here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the hypertonic pelvic floor. It's the tension that you feel in your pelvic floor area. If you're suffering from endometriosis or adenomyosis, this is definitely for you. So last year, I was finally diagnosed with endometriosis and adenomyosis after suffering for 20 years. Um, I've been in pain for this whole time, and yeah, now I finally know what's the reason. But that's not the topic today. So, so if you're watching this, there's a good chance you've spent a lot of time feeling like your own body is a bit of a mystery, or maybe even an adversary. I know that feeling, and it's frustrating, and I can relate to that. I know the way your heart might sink when a simple appointment turns into a battle, even before it begins. Yeah, you might notice that your body starts to tighten up, your breath gets short and shallow, and you find yourself bracing even though you're trying to relax, and everyone is just telling you to relax, but that's literally impossible. So, I want to start by telling you something very important. That response you're feeling is not a weakness, it is not a failure of your own body, it's a sign. And that's a sign of a hypertonic pelvic floor. Your body is trying to protect you, and it's a defense reflex that you have. So, the goal today is to move from fighting this tension and try to understand it. So, what hypertonic actually means? We often hear the word hypertonic in clinical settings, but it simply means muscles that stay on for too long. Think of a hammock that is supposed to swing and settle, but instead it's being pulled taut and never fully settles. Muscles that are always tight eventually start to hurt. And this creates what I call the protective loop. When the area hurts, your body's natural instinct is to tighten even more to guard the area. And that guarding creates more tension. It's an exhausting cycle. And I want you to hear this clearly. Your muscles haven't failed. They have just forgotten how to let go because they haven't felt safe enough to do so in a long time. So, let's talk about the impact of endometriosis and adenomyosis. So, for a long time, my own pain was dismissed. When I finally was diagnosed, I felt a strange mix of relief and grief. I had answers, but my body had already been shaped by years of chronic pain. And because of those constant alarm signals, my nervous system learned to guard the pelvic area to protect sensitive tissues. And over years of pain, invasive medical exams, this protection becomes a habit. So your nervous system is incredibly smart. It learns to anticipate pain and braces before it even happens. So this is a learned safety strategy, not a structural defect. Let's identify your guarding signs. So, guarding shows up in our lives in ways that seem small at first. It might be the invisible clench, a constant pressure, urgency, or a feeling of heaviness in your belly. You might catch yourself holding your breath when you're concentrating or standing in a line. I used to notice my jaw was constantly clenched or my shoulders were up at my ears. Yeah. And this is whole body bracing. Some of us also have a sucking in habit, yeah? So we're holding our bellies tight for posture, and that reinforces that pelvic tension. You might even notice a movement mismatch where you feel okay lying down, but the second you stand up, your body immediately hits that guard button again. Why more effort can actually backfire. So, our first instinct is often to try and fix it with strengthening or more effort. But for a hypertonic pelvic floor, adding more load can actually make things worse. These muscles are not weak, they're overactive and exhausted. So, imagine trying to flex a bicep that is already cramping. It just causes more pain, and that's literally impossible. You cannot strengthen a muscle that doesn't know how to relax first. So, we have to give the body permission to downshift. Remember, length and release must come before load. We cannot force relaxation if the nervous system feels threatened. So, our goal is to signal safety so the guard can finally stand down. Yeah. Let's talk about the breath. One of the most effective ways to signal that safety is through the relationship between your breath and your pelvis. So your diaphragm and pelvic floor are dance partners. Yeah? Let's imagine that. When you inhale, your diaphragm lowers and your pelvic floor should naturally soften and widen. Pain disrupts that rhythm, causing the system to lock up. True relaxation is not a push or a strain. It is a softening, like an elevator gently descending to the ground floor. So try to use a pelvic down cue. As you exhale, imagine your sit bones widening or a flower opening. You're not doing relaxation, you are allowing it. In this part, I want to give you some micro practices for real life. So, you don't need a grueling 1 hour routine. In fact, long sessions can sometimes overwhelm a sensitive system. Instead, focus on micro practices, 2 to 10 minutes. Try a 2-minute reset by placing a hand on your belly and softening your jaw. Use supported positions like child's pose or lying on your side with pillows so the floor holds you instead of your muscles. You can even try a gravity assisted release with a supported squat to let the pelvis widen naturally. These positions reduce the need for your muscles to hold you up, allowing them to finally let go. Redefining your progress. So, progress in chronic pain doesn't always mean the pain is gone forever. It doesn't. Healing is rarely a straight line. So, progress might mean you noticed your jaw was clenched 5 minutes earlier than usual. It might mean feeling a little more in control during a doctor's visit because you remembered to breathe. Your body is not broken. It learned to protect you. And you're not fighting your body. You are teaching it a new language. We are taking this one small step at a time with a lot of gentleness. And you are not alone in this. If this video was useful for you, if you can relate to it, please like and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you soon in the next one. Bye.